Imagine a world where peace is forget through pain and suffering, where a heart shattered by loss transforms into an unrelenting force that seeks justice at any cost. This is the journey of Nagato Uzumaki, better known as Pain, a character whose dark and redemptive trajectory challenges us to reflect on deep themes of justice, revenge, pain, and redemption. How does Pain's story resonate with biblical teachings about suffering, forgiveness, and true peace? Immerse yourself in this analysis that reveals how the light of faith can illuminate even the dark path of the human search for meaning and peace. Nagato Uzumaki, also known as Pain, is a complex and central character in the Naruto anime and manga series created by Masashi Kishimoto. Nagato is a ninja from Amegagakure and a member of the Akatsuki organization. He is presented as a powerful and influential antagonist whose actions and philosophy have a large impact on the series' narrative. Nagato was born during a period of intense conflicts and wars between the ninja villains. He lost his parents when he was still a child, which plunged into a deep suffering. Nagato possesses the legendary Rinnegan, which was given to him by the leader of Akatsuki, Madara Uchiha, indirectly. The power made him an exceptionally strong ninja and led him to believe that he was destined to bring peace to the world. After the loss of his parents, Nagato found two other war orphans, Yahiko and Konan, and together they were trained by the legendary Sanin Jiraiya. Over time, Yahiko formed a group to seek peace, but he was killed, which devastated Nagato and led him to adopt the name of Pain and the philosophy that true peace could only be achieved through understanding suffering. Using the power of Rinnegan, Nagato controls 6 different bodies, known collectively as the 6 Paths of Pain, to execute his vision of peace through fear and destruction. Nagato is eventually confronted by Naruto Uzumaki, a young ninja and protagonist from Konoha, who challenges his beliefs and methods. Through his empathy and determination, Naruto manages to touch Nagato's heart, leading him to regret his action and sacrifice his life to resurrect those he has killed during the invasion of Konoha. Nagato's story is a powerful exploration of the consequences of pain and war, as well as the complex issues of justice, revenge, and redemption. Its narrative arc highlights how suffering can distort views of justice and how true peace requires understanding, empathy, and forgiveness. The journey of Nagato Uzumaki in the Naruto series can be seen as a story rich in themes that can be reflected in the light of biblical teachings. His trajectory involves pain, loss, revenge, and eventually a search for peace and redemption. Pain and suffering are central to Nagato's journey. After losing his parents and friends due to war and conflicts, he adopts the name Pain and seeks to impose peace through suffering is a universal and inevitable experience in human life, something that both the Bible and Nagato Uzumaki's journey into Naruto explores deeply. The Bible recognizes the presence of suffering in the world in a clear and realistic way. In Job 5:7 we read, "But man is born to suffer, as spark fly upward." This passage illustrates the inevitability of suffering in human existence, comparing it to a natural or a constant phenomenon. Just as sparks inevitably rise when released, suffering is an intrinsic part of the human condition. However, the Bible is not limited to recognizing suffering. It calls us to find purpose and hope in this. In Romans 5:3-4, the Apostle Paul writes, "Not only that, but we also glory in tribulations, because we know that tribulations produce perseverance, perseverance a proven character, and a proven character hope. These words offer a deeply encouraging and transformative view of suffering. Instead of being seen as a meaningless burden, suffering is presented as a process that can bear valuable fruit. Tribulation or suffering is seen as a training ground for perseverance. Perseverance, in turn, is the ability to continue even in the face of difficulties. This inner strength is a quality that does not arise from comfort, but from the adversities faced and overcome. Perseverance leads to the development of an approved charter, a charter that has been tested and found genuine. This approved charter is the solid foundation on which hope is built. The hope here spoken of is not the vague or superficial hope, but a confident expectation of something good and lasting. It is hope that sustains itself even when external circumstances seem hopeless, because it is rooted in experience and charter transformed through suffering. Nagato or Pain's journey in Naruto resonates with this perspective. Nagato has experienced deep and devastating suffering since childhood, leading him to a distorted view that only by causing pain can he force the world to understand and eventually achieve peace. However, it is through his confrontation with Naruto that he begins to see a new perspective. Naruto, having also suffered, chose to find purpose and hope in his tribulations, using them to strengthen his resolve to protect his friends and achieve peace in a way that does not involve violence. This confrontation caused a change in Nagato, leading him to regret his violent ways and sacrifice himself to undo the damage he has caused. Thus, he finds a kind of redemption which, although late, reflects the possibility of transformation and hope that the Bible also offers. Nagato believes that only by causing pain he brings a true understanding of peace and justice. His distorted outlook, shaped by a life of loss and suffering, drives him to acts of revenge and violence in hopes of forcing the world to realize the horrors of war and thus achieve peace. He adopts the philosophy that extreme pain is necessary for true peace, using brutal methods to enforce his conception of justice. However, the Bible warns us against personal revenge and offers us a completely different perspective on how to deal with injustice and suffering. In Romans 12:19, the Apostle Paul writes, "Beloved, never seek revenge, but leave your wrath to God, for it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord." This passage reminds us true final justice belongs to God, not to us. Trying to take justice into our own hands often leads to an endless cycle of retribution and pain, rather than resolving the root cause of the conflict. This message of Romans is an invitation to trust in God and renounce personal revenge. By leaving justice in God's hand, we are called to break the cycle of violence and allow Him to work through means that are often beyond our understanding. Human revenge tends to be merciless and disproportionate, while divine justice is perfect and just. Furthermore, Jesus in his teachings goes even further by calling us to love our enemies and do good to those who persecute us. In Matthew 5:44, Jesus says, "But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." This radical commandment defies natural logic and the tendency to retaliate against those who do us harm. Loving our enemies means treating those who have harmed us with kindness and compassion, and praying for them means sincerely wishing for their well-being and transformation. This approach is not easy, but it is profoundly transformative. Loving your enemies breaks the cycle of hate and revenge and paves the way for reconciliation and true peace. It is a call to see beyond offensive actions and recognize shared humanity, promoting healing for both victim and predator. The story of Nagato serves as a powerful illustration of the consequences of seeking justice through revenge and imposing suffering. His acts of violence and his desire to inflict pain do not bring the peace he desires, but rather more pain and destruction.